everyone. Thank you so much for clicking on another Netflix review. I really appreciate when you guys dedicate just a few minutes out of your day to consume my content. It really is it's an indescribable feeling, and I really do appreciate it. Today we're going to be talking about the new Netflix series Firefly Lane, which is, of course, starring Katherine Heigl and Sarah Chalke, and they honestly did a phenomenal job. The series is, of course, based off of the novel of the same name and is being released on Netflix today. So Firefly Lane's story is incredibly unique in the fact that it tells three congruent storylines at the exact same time, both of them based around Katherine Heigl and Sarah Chalke's characters. The first storyline, of course, starts off with them meeting when they're children, when they're young. The second storyline with them in their mid-20s, early 20s, basically breaking out into their industries and their careers. And then the third storyline is the primary storyline that we spend the most time with, and that's them in their early 40s. And it's incredibly interesting to see that these two characters in three distinct stages of their lives continuing to almost experience parallels. And the parallels are very well thought out in these three distinct stories. And it's a great way to show how a friendship evolves and adapts to individuals in different periods in their lives. So ultimately, the story is just about two friends that grow up together and they tackle life's hardships together. And it's a really good series, and I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. This series is definitely going to appeal to a demographic that I'm not part of, and that is either young women or older women in their 40s. But I think everyone can watch it and enjoy it. It tackles incredibly hard situations: divorce, marriage, childhood, being pregnant, all things I can't actually relate to currently in my exact stage of life. I'm not the right gender. I'm not going to experience childbirth. I'm hopefully never going to experience divorce. I want a strong relationship and a strong marriage. But these are all situations that are so well written and the characters are so well realized. I can engage these characters and understand what they're feeling and what they're going through. I do feel for these characters. They are well thought out. They're well fleshed out, and they feel realistic. They feel very real. I found myself being incredibly engrossed in their stories. When I took my lunch break, I went out and I was thinking about these characters. How are they going to deal with this next chapter of their lives? I was fully engrossed in the story, and that is a great sign. As mentioned earlier, Katherine Heigl and Sarah Chalke are the main actresses, and they do a phenomenal job, in my opinion. They perfectly capture what it's like to be in a friendship that's sometimes tested, but there's always a love and respect for the other person there. When they are feeling emotional, you feel that emotion. When they're happy, you feel that happiness. They did an absolutely fantastic job. I think they were brilliantly and perfectly cast. Of course, they end up playing two different versions of themselves. The versions of themselves that are in their 40s and the versions of themselves that are in their 20s. And they were able to put in a youthfulness into their performances from when they're younger. And of course, they can't hide the fact that they are older performers. But they do use clever camera tricks, and there is a softened glow edge to everything. So they do look younger, but it's not like Marvel where like you de-age characters like they did with Nick Fury. So it's not to that degree, but you can see cool that they're trying to portray younger characters here. The story itself is incredibly engaging, but one that you have to concentrate on. Because of the multiple stories that happen at the exact same time, you have to be fully engaged. This isn't something you can watch in the background because you're going to miss stuff very easily. It's three distinct storylines running in a parallel, and you've got to focus on each and every single one, because what happens in one storyline does impact the rest, because it's what's happening in the past, what's happening in the present, and what's happening in the future. So if you miss one thing, that's sometimes a key thing that you don't want to miss. So I would suggest, if you're going to be watching the series, you have to dedicate a large portion of your time to it. There are 10 episodes in this series, all of them around 50 minutes in length. So you're going to dedicate a massive chunk of your time to watch this. But it is definitely a series I would suggest you binge. It is a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I think a big strength for this series is, and this is going to sound super weird, but it's female-centric. And they don't shy away from that. And what I mean by that is we live in, like, let's not kid ourselves. We live in a world that is definitely targeted to creating content for the male audience. That's blatantly obvious. We don't have many movies or series like this that tackle problems that are exclusively female or exclusively for women. And I appreciated that. As an outsider looking in, being able to experience everything it was a lot of fun. Look, I'm not saying all guys are going to enjoy this series, but I am saying maybe they should give it a shot. I thoroughly enjoyed my time watching this series. Having incredibly difficult topics being tackled was fresh, and I enjoyed it. And I want more series and movies like this. So yeah, guys, that's just my review on Firefly Lane. I would highly, highly, highly recommend it. It's probably one of my favorite series on Netflix of this year. It was really good. It caught me by surprise. I was expecting it to be a by the numbers series. It was not. It's a fresh take on quite tricky subject matter that I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want, leave it a like, comment down below. If you enjoyed the series, if you're going to watch the series, I would love to know. And do not be afraid to subscribe. I hope to see you again in another video.